Hey guys, welcome back. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. How about some DC? The NECA quarter scale Batman Begins. Rather than a review, this video is going to be a showcase of the figure. I'll already have him posed and placed in different environments. One of the biggest inspirations for a lot of these shots is the parking garage fight scene in the beginning of The Dark Knight. At that point, he was still using the Batman Begins suit, which, by the way, is one of my favorite bat suits. I like that mean, intimidating look that it has. The thick neck and traps of the cowl really contribute to that, along with the way the cape drapes over his arms and shoulders, and also his body language and posture and the crouching poses he would do in this suit were a little different than how he looked in the later second suit. But all these aspects kind of give it that animal, bat-like vibe that I really like. Within the Nolan trilogy, it had its own unique presence to it, which I think kind of harkens back to the Batsuit from 1989 or Batman Returns. But at the same time, I still do enjoy the suit that he wears in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. As far as the figure goes, I think NECA did an awesome job. The likeness to Christian Bale is so good. And just as an overall figure, it's very well done. Comes with a decent amount of accessories, although I do wish it had a pair of open hands. But for retail price at the time of release, you can't really complain. Oh yes, and the velvet material of the cape. That's quite accurate to how it was on the real Batsuit, and it really takes this figure to another level in looking like a miniature version of the real thing. It does attract dust though, so it helps to have a lint roller at your disposal. My particular figure does have a couple of issues though. Shortly after receiving it when it first came out, the larger folding batarang came apart at the hinge and the pin fell out. That's the reason why I didn't use it in this video, even though I really wanted to get some batarang poses in here, but unfortunately, I just couldn't use it. The other thing is that the right shoulder is super tight, which makes it kind of scary to move, and that, unfortunately, may have led to another problem, which is the peg for the grapple gun holding hand snapping after falling over. I briefly had it off the doll stand and on the carpet, but he ended up falling forward onto the outstretched hand holding the grapple gun, in a pose just like this one in fact. The arm didn't even budge, but the hand snapped right off. So just a heads up for you guys out there, I definitely recommend keeping these figures on doll stands, especially if you're going to be putting them in any kind of dynamic pose. What I'm doing now as a sort of temporary fix is using a little bit of blue tack around the wrist socket to hold the hand in place whenever I want to have him posed with the grapple gun. In fact, you can kind of see it right here in this shot. That break actually happened shortly before I started filming this video. So anytime you see the grapple gun, that hand is being held on by blue tack. So that can be a tip for anyone that has a broken hand or accessory that they need to reattach. Oh, sorry about that. Let's try it again. There we go. But yeah, that's my next tip. Have some blue tack just in case. By the way, some of the poses that I went for, like the ones you see right now, I took inspiration from the KC martial art that Batman used throughout these movies, with a lot of elbows and hammer fists. It definitely made Christian Bale's fighting style different from what we'd seen before and after. I also wanted to make sure I got a kicking pose in there as well, which I showcased a little bit earlier in the video. Despite the heavy weight of the figure, it still manages to work pretty well, thanks to the ratchet joints in the hips, and of course, the stand. For this next one, here's a quick look at the current quarter scale Batman that I have. The 1989, Batman Begins, and Arkham Knight. I'll be saving those for hopefully their own standalone videos later. But this video is just about to conclude, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I gave you guys a couple of useful tips in regards to this figure. I definitely enjoyed taking this figure out in the city and getting some matching backgrounds and environments. If you did enjoy it, I'd really appreciate it if you liked, comment, and subscribed for more Batman and DC to come. In addition to NECA quarter scale, I have Play Arts Kai, Mayfix, McFarlane, and even Hot Toys that I want to showcase. So thank you very much for watching, and mahalo.